s1e20. Thanks for joining me today. Now, this is part 2 of the hashtag He Made June 22 challenge in terms of men's patterns that are out there for you to consider for the challenge. As I said in part 1, this challenge is being hosted by Adam of Adam Sews and Lisa of One Lisa Show, which of course I will link below, their Instagram as well as YouTube channels. In there also will be a link to Adam's video that talks all about the rules as well as prizes and all that information. So I won't go into it here, but just know that that information is available over at Adam's channel. Now in part 1 we went through some of the commercial patterns that I have, and there was lots there. And we have a lot here for Indy as well. Again, these are not exhaustive lists. These are just ones that piqued my interest, and so I downloaded or purchased, or they were even some free patterns as well that I considered for some of the men in my life. Now, while these two videos may seem like, oh, there's quite a bit of, patterns out there for men, yes and no. In terms of, while it may seem like a whole lot of patterns that I've gone through and will go through, it is like a single percentage of the number of patterns that are available for women, as well as even for children. Like, you get an abundance of babies and children's wear, some women's wear. You can even get pet things. But when it comes to men's patterns, there just aren't that many. And so this challenge is looking to shed some light on that, build some awareness, and hopefully encourage some of our fabulous pattern makers and designers to actually consider putting together more men's patterns for us to indulge ourselves in. So if that's you, pattern maker, you happen to be watching one of my videos, please know that we certainly do want more patterns for men. So now let's get into the Indy part of the patterns that I have. And so first we have the Herald shirt. I guess they call it, to me it looks like a jacket, but I guess they call it a shirt, a dress shirt. Now this is a dress shirt with pockets. It comes in sizes extra small through extra large. That translates to chest sizes of 45 to 31. So a chest size 45 to 31 and a hip size of 46 to 32. So it's not very inclusive in the way of a large range for men. However, this is a very nice looking pattern and one that I would really like to sew up for some of the guys in my life. I even like, the stripes that they have the model wearing. But again, you have a button down front, you have a collar as well as some front pockets there, so you can do or not do the pockets. Even with the buttons, you can switch those out to snaps if you're not into buttons and buttonholes. So some variety that you can have there, but this is the Herald dress shirt by Fiber Mood. Okay, next we have the men's muscle tank. And again, this is the same tank as part 1. So my female version of a muscle tank. But this is the men's muscle tank by Pattern for Pirates. It comes in sizes extra small through extra large. So 2 extra small to 3 extra large. And that accommodates a chest size of 50 to 32. It says that you would need up to 1 yard of any type of knit fabric. So that's the men's muscle tank by Pattern for Pirates. Next we have the Aerosmith tank by Thread Theory. This comes in extra small through extra large, which accommodates a chest size of 47.5 to 35. Again, not very extensive in size range, but hopefully can accommodate quite a few folks. The pattern or the fabric that they recommend is light to medium weight knits, and then you would use anywhere up to 2.1 yards if you're using a 45-inch fabric, or 1.2 yards if you're using a 60-inch fabric. So not much in the way of fabric either, depending on what size you use. But this is the Aerosmith tank by Thread Theory. Next we have the Sage Tee by LB Textiles. This is a basic relaxed fit men's t-shirt with a crew neck and short sleeves. Now for their sizes, they go by letters, so it's A through H, and this accommodates a chest size of 48 to 34.2, and these are inches, a waist of 42 to 28, and a hip of 46 to 32. Now for the fabric, they actually go by centimeters, so you'll need between 115 centimeters to 175 centimeters of fabric, and this calls for medium weight knits and jersey. So a very basic crew neck short sleeve t-shirt for LB Textiles. It's their Sage t-shirt. Next we have Ellie and Mac. It is their Tuesday hoodie pattern. Now this one comes in sizes extra small to 5XL. This will accommodate a chest of 60 to 32 inches, a waist of 60 to 26 inches, and hips of 59 to 32 inches. As far as fabric, they say go with a 50% stretch. That's a 4-way stretch knit. And instead of telling you like the total amount of fabric that you'll need, they actually break it down by pattern piece, which is kind of cool. I mean, a little math you'll need to do, but basically because there's so many different ways that you can put together their patterns, they don't just say, okay, you'll need 3 yards or 2 yards, and you know, maybe if you're doing an extra small, you really only needed a yard, so now you have all this extra to deal with. So if you want to do the long sleeve with the cuff, then they tell you how much that is. If you want to add the kangaroo pocket, if you want to do a crew neck instead of a hoodie, like they tell you all of those pieces, amounts of fabric needed by piece, so that then you can go ahead and figure out exactly how much you need to purchase, or if you have enough in your stash without having a lot of waste or leftover fabric once your garment is constructed. So I think that's very cool that they do that. So this one is geared towards color block styling. It has a front pocket option, and it has a loose fit with the hood. So again, pretty much whatever you want to do, however you want to put it together, you have a few varieties there. So that's the Tuesday hoodie pattern by Ellie and Mac. Then I have the North Star pullover by Love Notions. Their size range for this one is extra small to XXXL, so extra small to 3XL. It accommodates a chest size of 50 to 34, waist of 46 to 28.5, and then hips of 47.5 to 33.5. Now for fabric, it says you'll need up to 3 1/8 yard of fabric, going with the largest size. And then for this one, they're looking at using stable knits. So something like a ponte, a French terry, sweater knit, fleece, micro fleece, things like that. So it has both a collar and a hood option. It has a half zip front, a large kangaroo pocket, and then for Love Notions, and I just put together another one of their patterns, and so I was so excited to see it, but they have no trim pages, which means after you print it out, you just stick one on top of the other and tape it together, glue it, stickers, however you adhere them, and move on to the next page. So you don't have to cut all the pages first, like sometimes you have to cut the left side and the bottom, and then do all of those before you actually get to tape them together. With Love Notions, it's just print it out, stick them together, cut out your pattern pieces. So that's awesome as well. So now those were a lot of the indie patterns that I've picked up for men. Again, not a very exhaustive list by any stretch of the imagination. It's just things that I found interesting. The other patterns that I want to go over are all from Seamworks. Now, I'm a Seamwork member, been a member for about 2 years now. Enjoy my membership. At some point, I just need to do a video dedicated to all of the Seamwork garments that I've put together. But for this video, we're going to talk about their unisex patterns. So they don't have anything that specifically says men's patterns on their website. You would just click what says gender inclusive patterns. And so all of these will come up. And so I'm going to run through these fairly quickly. And again, all of these will be linked in the description box, so you can go and check them out directly from those links if you're interested in any of them. So the first one from Seamwork is the Jess vest. And I think this vest is really, really cute. Again, you have some options there of if you want to do some pockets in the front or not, but it looks like a very straightforward vest that you can put together. The Paxton sweatshirt, again, very straightforward sweatshirt with the fronts, your backs, your bands on it, your cuffs for your sleeve. Now the next one is the Albion coat, which I'm just looking at the picture, I'll say this does not look beginner friendly at all. However, Seamwork is very good in terms of their instructions. And so with, you know, giving yourself time and grace and patience, right, you'll be able to probably work through this at a very slow pace and understanding all of the steps that you need to undertake. But this Albion coat looks like something that is really fantastic. The next one is the Graham necktie. And so if you just need something quick and you have enough fabric for it, because with neckties you're cutting on the bias, so as long as you have enough fabric, this is something that you can probably whip together very, very quickly. The next is the Ryan t-shirt. This again looks like a very straightforward t-shirt. So you have a long sleeve, you have a short sleeve, and again you have a pocket on the front or not, and it's a crew neck. So one that you can, if you're looking to just increase the number of t-shirts that you need, you can probably crank this out very, very quickly. Next we have the Larkin, the bomber jacket. Now I like this jacket because it looks pretty simple to put together. Like there's not a lot of extras and bells and whistles in terms of a bomber jacket. And I mean, they have others out there, and I have a couple other bomber jacket patterns that call for all of that. But for this one, it just looks pretty straightforward. So you have, you know, your basic pattern pieces, obviously, but then you have that ribbing along the collar as well as the waistband. And so that is what to me really sets a bomber jacket off, is how you can contrast those colors and the right ribbing to go along with it. So you can't really use anything flimsy. It's going to have to be something that's sturdy for that collar as well as for that waistband. Next we have Bud, which is their version of a shacket, which is very unisex, right? Some people say, you know, you can just use a button-down shirt and make it bigger and it can become a shacket. However, I've seen other videos, and so is talk about, in terms of you really want to make a shacket from a jacket pattern, just because you have that extra room at the arm area, so that it can truly be an overcoat without doing a lot of, you know, math maybe in your head, or trying to figure out exactly how much you need to expand it so that you have room to make it a true overcoat. So this is their version of a jacket. Again, you know, with some of the variations with adding pockets or not, or you know, even some color blocking with it as well. And then lastly, we have the Lex, which is another sweatshirt. So again, something pretty simple to put together, very straightforward. So with Seamwork, I will link all of these below. Obviously, I said I'm a member. You don't have to be a member to download most of their patterns. There are some patterns that are members only. However, you can buy them a la carte if you want to, from their website. So all in all, these are the patterns that I have that are either specifically for men or unisex patterns that are gender inclusive. Again, if you have anything that's similar to these, if you've made these or just have them and haven't quite gotten to it yet, let's talk about that in the comments area. If there are other patterns that you feel really should be a part of this list or something that I should even consider taking a look at, I'll be happy to know that information as well. So let me know if you are going to participate in the challenge, the hashtag He Made June 22, which is over on Instagram. Let me know if you're going to make anything. The reveal date for it is June 30th, so we have the entire month. So if you make something for Father's Day, you may not be able to take a picture and post it until June 30th. So just keep that in mind. But, you know, let's bring awareness or build awareness to the need for more men's patterns, more variety, whether it's pants or shorts or tops or sweaters, jackets and coats, vests, you name it. Let's see if we can get more of our pattern makers to design and offer more variety for men's patterns. So with that, I thank you again for your time. Thank you for walking with me through life on this sewing journey, and I'll see you next time. Bye.